Good morning from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well today. Hoping your day is going to be the best it possibly can. Further on from yesterday, I want to talk about what it's like being a first time prisoner. By way of your first ever offence. If you were a hard-working, straight-going man, what does it feel like? How do they cope in prison? We'll go to the extreme cases first, which are the lifers. So you look at a man who's worked his whole life 10, 20, 25, 30 years, married, families, and one day he does something really out of character. I draw on it from a crime of passion kind of thing because of my experiences with those straight going first time lifers or long termers. Because so when we're talking out of character, we're talking something that nobody would have ever expected from them. Not the typical made up, jumped up villain like me and a lot of others in that environment. But yes, there's many that I've seen, and I could say a few of them that I draw from experience from over the years. And, I used to always think that if you was in for murdering your wife, children, or families, it came under the same bracket as maybe you need to be on protection kind of thing. Because other prisoners have their own hierarchy about who's wrong about committing certain crimes, and we're not that wrong because we're robbers, burglars, and we had shootouts and things like that. But then on the other coin, you know, killing a lady, your wife, cousin, auntie. I even knew of a policeman that killed his mother-in-law. Oh, I'll tell you about that one day. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, in the cat A's and the bees, whatever long-term straight goers, straight men, you see them when they come in, right? So you've just come from, say, Belmarsh local, Woodhill local cat A, and you're coming to the cat A's. You've got a 25-year tariff. Sometimes domestic ones, crimes of passion on that emotional state, you can end up with a smaller tariff. Really, it's 35s, 40s now for many murders of their kind. But the ones that I saw, you see, they look around, they're intelligent, they pick up on who would be the best person to talk to ask questions about what to expect, and can you get me a bucket? Can I have a cloth for the cell? Can I clean out? And straight away, because I was always lurking about anyway to see who was coming and going, sadly. But then they ask you, and then you get talking. You think this guy ain't meant to be in prison. That's what I mean. And then you say, "Oh, how long are you doing?" 25, 25. But you get a look, and they don't really want to talk about their crimes. And then further down there, an officer or someone would tell you, "Yeah, he was just in the newspaper. He's in there for murdering his wife." There's men lost in the system for 30, 40 years that you don't hear about, that had who have never admitted their crimes for their wives, and when their bodies have been buried but not found and things like that. But anyway, uh, so yeah, you look at them and I think, because I'm so used to different characters by spending. When you come across one, you think, how could he have done that though? Because I'm not as much as we can all have the hierarchy of crimes. If you're a rapist and you're abuser and a paedophile and all that, then you got to go. I ain't really. I'm forgiving for almost anything at the moment, but during those times and now, I still don't see that you can't be on normal location. But I always thought there was an argument for the domestic crimes of passion. Don't think they deserve to be on protection. Do you see what I mean? But they seem to cope all right. You see, it's like you got the Marines and the Army and the Navy. They've come unstuck, or they've done a murder, or they've done something silly whilst they were serving soldiers, or once were fighting countries, fighting wars for this country, and they end up in jail. And when they go to jail, it's their first time, but staff give them good jobs, look after them, because the same kind of institutional thing. And they know that they don't really want to associate with normal everyday criminals, because that's not really what they're there for. They're really there for something completely different. But they get the isolated jobs where they're around by staff and that kind of thing. Now, the lifers of the straight goers, but spend times they're in the cell, they're cells full of books, and they get library jobs, orderly jobs, because again they don't mix in with everyday mix-ups and criminals who are in, if you want the limelight, but and they stay well away, and nobody bothers them, because people say, well, why leave him alone? He's not doing nothing to no one. Sometimes you don't even see them come out on the landings and all that. It's only when you've investigated their cases. But I'll tell you, the biggest thing of all of what I see is when they are in this, it's either you accepted it, that you was wrong, and you're getting on with it and you want to make amends or whatever, or you don't regret doing what you did, but that's a form of acceptance as well. Do you see what I mean? Because you're saying, I'm glad about what I did. That old one there, where she can't, if I can't have her, nobody else will. Not saying that was the line for a lot of those murders I saw with straight goers. It is more, I'd say, and I can't even know percentages. It's more, I did it, I don't regret it, but I accept it, and I'm going to do my time and wait until it's my time to die too. So whatever was going on inside that person at that time, whether he caught his missus in bed with somebody else, or other extreme things, someone hit his young son or his daughter, and he came out in the garden, different kind of thing, different kind of murders. I see that sometimes during that moment of shock and a broken heart, if you like, or one of your little beings being attacked, you can lose the plot, and then you end up in there, and then you'll think, but these guys, I think, accept it better, either not regretting wise, or accepting, well, I'll do that any day for my little boy. I'll do that any day for my little girl. You put your hand on my wife. But, the serious natures of the domestic ones, because I came across, where bodies haven't been found, and they're still in custody, and they won't tell people where the bodies are. I spoke about that Jeremy Bamber. I met him twice along the years. I just couldn't stand him, to be honest. I'm not allowed to, am I? To give my verdict on that one. And yeah, you asked about Bellfield yesterday. I hate his fucking guts. Sorry about the language. Yeah. Didn't I tell that story about the headbutt outside the mosque? And Michael Stone, you also asked me about that. So I'm thinking, because I had two incidents there. One before all that, with Josie Russell and Meg Russell, and obviously, I was quite hurt over that too, because of I watched it from inside there, her rehabilitation and stuff, with the head injuries. Obviously, it was very, very heart wrenching. Guilty or not, I'm gonna get back to you lot soon. Wishing all a good day. I love you all. It's so good to be back. Health's coming back now. I know. Coming back in a bit. See you soon. Love you loads.